Welcome back to Super Size Sports. Hello and good evening, sports fans. Kev here with you, as always, joined by my good friend James. And James, the NFL season is upon us. And
It has arrived, Kev.
well, my first question for you is, how do you feel about the first touchdown of the NFL season and how it was scored?
Okay, this was a shot of vodka. I just do this. Derrick Henry scores the first touchdown of the season. Great, cool. He's in the wrong uniform. Doesn't play for Tennessee anymore. Bye-bye. Our stud running
I've
back.
seen a lot.
I understand why he's gone. I get it. I hope he wins. It's still disgusting.
Really helping
Same
me
with
out my
the-
14 team fantasy league this year with the had to roll the dice on him. He slid down the board a little bit, and I went receiver first round, so I was able to snag him.
It worked out for you, didn't it?
So far, so good. You know, if he plays really well these first 2 weeks, he will be on the trade block. I'm gonna look to sell high on that one.
Right. Yeah, sell high.
Luckily, not too many of my league mates watch this show, so that's perfectly fine. We will be keeping an eye on
Don't tell them to watch.
This Chiefs Ravens game throughout the evening, sports fans. James, I've already mentioned that I'm watching Henry, another guy I'm keeping my eye on all night, thanks in part to our dear friend Trevor, who is honestly the sponsor of this segment right here. I have a lot of Rashee Rice shares. He was somebody that, for the number one receiver in Kansas City's offense, I found sliding down a ton of draft boards. I was able to grab him in almost every draft. The only draft I didn't get him in is the league that Trevor's in, and I don't even know if he got him, but there was no way anybody watching his podcast on Wednesday at 9:15 Eastern right here would have let Rice slip. They would have known Trevor was gunning for him. So those are the two guys I've got my eye on. What about you? Anybody that you need to score you some points on this season opener?
It's kind of wild Rashee Rice is not suspended, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. But that suspension's gonna happen next year, it sounds like, which is wild. I think he just got a catch.
Yeah.
I think it's a boy.
Hey,
At number 4.
It's funny. I was in a work league.
I would like Mark Andrews to get some points.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. You know what? I do have Andrews in the league as well. I forgot about him.
I would like Mark Andrews to, yes.
How did I forget about him?
Yeah, people forget he exists, which is wild.
So, like I said, we will keep an eye on the Thursday night opener and keep you folks updated if anything crazy happens. Again, if you want some help with your start sits on Thursday, join us on Wednesday night. Trevor and Josh will be with you talking fantasy football. They do a lot of best ball there as well, talk a lot of daily fantasy stuff. So you definitely don't want to miss those episodes. They helped me a ton in my own draft prep. So check that out, Bite Size Sports, Wednesday nights, 9:15. Now, before we get into our newest segment that will be a recurring segment throughout the NFL season, James, I have a little something for you. It's the future of sports. Now, I've got a few different candidates for what could be the newest thing in the world of sports. Now, we're going to start off with what I think is the wildest. I may come to learn.
Bring it on, Kev.
But we're going to go with the craziest first. So here we go. 30 seconds of the newest fad in the world of mixed martial arts, which in some ways is something incredibly old.
He
busted his lip?
Yeah.
There we go. Oh my God.
That was Dragon Con.
Okay. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
dropped it.
From some of the shots.
Yes.
My God.
Into some crazy grapples.
He's got that.
Oh,
there's that knee to the face.
The knee.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
He be coming in.
What is this?
You remember that movie,
What?
The Last
What?
Duel? Well, it turns out
No.
Ridley Scott is full of shit, dude. There's plenty of duels. There's duels all the time. They're
What
professional
is
duels
this?
in cages. Oh, that is medieval MMA, James. A couple of knights of the round. It's like I used to go to these dinner shows when I was a kid where they'd do that. They'd have like knights of the round or whatever. But that stuff was scripted. That was like wrestling. This looked very real, James. Would you
That
attend?
was wild.
Would you watch
Yes,
an MMA, a medieval
absolutely. Yes. That
My
was crazy. They got weapons and shit.
Yeah, did you see the referee has like a lance so that he can stick, he has a stick so he can jab in there and break it up.
What
But,
is
hey,
going
boys,
on? What the
chill out for a second. We got a break.
What the hell is going on?
Absolutely incredible. First of all, as a play-by-play commentator, I want to say we should all adopt their freaking clothing. No suits. You got a guy there in a t-shirt. Give me that dress code. That's what I want. And secondly, what I thought was hilarious, one of the most popular comments underneath this video was, I would love to try this. Do they have it in the UK? We got people who see that and their first thought, James, is, oh, hell yeah, dude. Get me in there.
I'm in. Get me in there. Yeah, like I got this. I can do this. I got this.
I don't even need the armor, bro. Just give me a couple of Red Bulls and we'll be good to go. Okay, so
wild, dude.
That a pretty wild thing we were doing there. Now for this next one, we're actually going to go back in time and bring back potentially one of the craziest sports that I have never understood throughout my entire existence here. So here is a highlight from a long time ago titled The Greatest Highlight in the History of Sports. So James, let's see what you think about bringing this sport back.
2-point lead, 30 seconds to go. Here comes Harold Jackson. Does he have enough left? I don't think he does.
Jackson cannot afford to let that man Fred get the lead.
He flipped it.
My God.
Unbelievable.
He's going to need full body armor. Ow, so is he.
Hamilton is down. He's still down. Jackson's going.
And this guy, his own teammate goes down trying to swing him forward. No idea. All I know is number 17 scoring points somehow. And by God.
He's hitting everything, and he
This is
Harold Jackson, what a comeback.
It's the WWE on roller
Watch
skate.
it. What kind of show is this? Good Lord.
Wow, rollerball. Now, see, this is why I did it this way, James. See, most people would say, start with the least crazy thing and build your way up. But
coming
no,
out the gate hot.
see, we wanted to come out the gate hot. And also, I know that this third thing is something that you might actually enjoy. This is something I would like to see more of. I have done a show that was very similar to this. We did a boxing show in a similar setting. So let's not waste. Here we go. Arena football in a shopping mall. That's a touchdown, baby. And you can see not so much at the top level. What do you think about that?
Game.
Yeah. So we did a boxing event. We did a boxing pay-per-view in a mall. And it's a cool setup because you've got your people that are buying their tickets that are going to be there, but then you have the walk-ups. You get first of all, it makes the crowd feel a lot bigger because at times it will be much bigger because you'll just have people stopping by. But I think that was cool. Malls are all but dead in America. They're whatever communities where they've survived, that's probably where they'll stay. I mean, Columbus itself, I just drove by a ghost of a mall yesterday. They've gotten rid of a lot of them. One got replaced downtown. So they're getting rid of these things. But while they're there, I think they make a great venue. So I love seeing just that's like a time capsule of the early 2000s, having arena football in a mall.
The Ravens just fumbled the ball. Lamar got strip sacked inside their own 20, it looks like. Chris Jones, of course.
Oh, it was Chris Jones. Let's go. IDP league, baby. I decided to start Chris
Lamar got it back,
Jones.
but he did.
That's going to help me out. You said Lamar got it back. Nate has a question. What up,
No,
Nate? And by the
I thought
way,
he got it back. I think Sportside was back. Nope, he didn't.
ooh, before I ask
not.
Nate's,
You, buddy, you're phoning that one in.
Nate will be doing a
Ain't gonna-
shoey next week when the Titans lose to
Rookie
the Bears. You know,
quarterback, last 15 first starts, cover 0-14-1.
yeah,
And
not a
Sunday.
great
History
stat.
not on your side. Good news for Caleb Williams. Well, he got his jersey retired at USC today, and they put Reggie Bush's back out. So
Good.
Shouts
Yeah, that
out.
was only a matter of time.
I was like,
now,
why?
right?
I was like, he never won anything. He doesn't deserve that. I was like, oh wait, he won the fucking Heisman dummy.
Yep. And the only reason he didn't win the title was because of the ghost of Vince Young. Remember that
Yeah,
guy?
Reggie's a dog. I know Reggie won. Reggie was awesome. Caleb Williams, I was like,
Oh yeah, Caleb really didn't. Did he win any? Oh, he win.
He won the Heisman.
Yeah.
He won the Heisman.
Right.
That's why they did it. Yeah, I was like, he didn't win anything. But then I was like, oh yeah, he did win the Heisman. Reggie, shout out to him. Thankfully, he's back. Like, thank God we're not being stupid over all that shit.
They need to get rid of anything that's been taken away from a program because
Yeah.
an athlete took money. A is dumb because people were giving money to athletes for as long as there have been
Yeah.
money and college
Give the Fab
athletes.
Five their wins back, like all of it. It's stupid. It's dumb.
It's ridiculous, and especially now where we're at with it, it's sort of like, okay, well now all of this stuff would be above board, so there's definitely no reason to punish. And then could there be a stupider, a less intelligent and worthless punishment than just pretending that a national championship
You know,
didn't
the only
happen? Like,
people
we
that-
all know who won.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Well,
what
out of
do
the
you
record.
think we don't care? Like, that doesn't count. Yes, it fucking does.
Nate, of course. Nate says, "What about Joe Pa getting his wins back?" No,
That's
no.
no.
I don't think the statute of limitations are ever going to run out on those crimes,
No.
Nate.
Nope.
Jesus, Nate's already had a couple shoeys. It sounds like
You know, he's out there doing shoes, practicing.
just gulping Malort over there wherever he's at. No, we appreciate you,
gonna-
Nate.
He's gonna take a shoey of Malort is what he's gonna take.
Anybody watching on Twitter, I will have you know we would love to hear from you. Your best bet is to come watch us on YouTube because those Twitter comments may show up in an hour and be at the top of the feed, and I will never see them. So we do love the ability to stream to you on multiple platforms. I can't wait for us to be on XTV or whatever. James, they're going to have an app soon on your Roku TV that will allow you to watch this show from Twitter, even though you could already watch it on your TV on YouTube. But it's almost cool. It's almost exciting. Just like my thoughts for our beloved AFC South, James, because Nate brought it up.
Oh,
We've got
yeah.
Caleb Williams. We've got the Titans on the docket for week 1. It's time to begin our tour around the AFC South. So James and I, Titans fan, Colts fan, both of us have covered these teams. I have covered the entire division before for Stadium Rant. Actually wrote for the Jaguars, covered the Jaguars for a season for my sins. And as you can see there, big Titans guy over here. James has hosted his own Titans-specific podcast, multiple ones at that.
Millions of listeners.
We may not be your NFL experts league-wide. We do know a thing or two about this division. So every week we're going to make a little pit stop. If you want to hear about the rest of the league, don't worry, we've got you covered.
Not our problem. That's not me and you though. That's somebody else.
Not only is it not our problem, we will talk about some of the bigger NFL stories as they come through on Thursday nights, at least until we get back into the swing of things with the NBA. But Tuesday nights, Necessary Roughness, John and the boys have you covered. So if you like what you're about to hear, you will love an hour plus of it every week on Tuesday. Go check out this week's episode. I was John's guest. We had a great time picking all of the winners, every division winner, and even our Super Bowl picks. So we're not going to do all that here today. But what I was thinking, James, is on top of looking at week 1, we should at least solidify our division picks, if you're all right with it. Decide who we think is going to win this division, and
Yes.
if any of
Correct.
our teams are going to make the wild card. So since I've had a chance to pontificate about this to my heart's content, we're going to start with James here. So James, wherever you would like to start in the AFC South, how are you feeling before the season starts for us?
I'm pulling up the schedule for the week. I agree with Nate that I think the Jags are going to be very disappointed this year. And Kev, I think you're going to agree with me because you are anti-Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, I agree with both of you. I will just scratch that one off the list, right? I have them as 4th. I truly believe that that's where they're going to be. I think they're the worst team in the division.
I think they're the worst team in the division. Yeah, they lost Calvin Ridley. He left, came to the Titans. Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked like a $50 million quarterback yet. A year, whatever he's making, a lot. And they struggled at the end of last year. Remember, they didn't make the playoffs because they lost to the Titans late. And the only reason they made it 2 years ago is because the Titans team took 7,000 injuries and they had to beat Rocket Dobbs.
They also had a couple of and that was a lucky win. Well, I mean, not lucky. It took the fumble.
The fumble the fumble or pass that they gave him a fumble and it shouldn't have been, and a lot of people called conspiracy theories.
And there was the Cowboys game where Rayshon Jenkins had a miracle pick six, or I think it was a pick six. It might have been a fumble. The way I forgive me of the details, but it was another just one-off. A game that they easily could have lost. Everything, bro. And again, that was the year I was covering the Jags, so I was writing about that. I actually I circled those wagons for a month because I was seeing what was happening in Tennessee and how banged up they were. I actually predicted that it would happen. So of course, that's what you got to do in this game. You got to run around patting yourself on the back. No one else is going to do it. But it was very lucky for them to catch that break. They've fallen off a cliff essentially ever since. I don't know that they replaced Ridley with their new wide receiver. Kirk.
Brian Thomas, I think, is going to be good, but Kirk is good. But he is what he is. Like, he'll lead him in receiving yards like he did 2 years ago.
I think if Christian Kirk is your number 2, you're happy. You probably got one of the best.
I don't like how they used Ridley last year either. Like, the Titans are throwing him everywhere. They didn't do it. The whole thing was weird.
Maybe he was betting the under on his receptions.
Oh, that's right. They have Gabe Davis too. Oh God, Gabe
Davis is in that like Christian Watson category.
I don't even acknowledge he exists.
You're right though. Last year, Bills fans especially were telling me,
he's the number 2. We're so good.
He's gonna break the fantasy world this year. I'm like, okay, Gabe Davis. I'll grab him late. I'll take a late flyer on him. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a game changer for them in the long term. So, yeah, I agree with you both. I think the Jags are in the basement. Nate, this is what Nate has: Texans, Titans, Colts, and the domesticated cats.
I'm going to get this one out of the way. I think the Texans win the division.
Ooh, there we go. This is fun. Yeah, I agree. I've said my piece about the thoughts that I have that could lead to the Texans struggling a bit. That being said, when you look on paper, they're the best team in the division.
They did the smart thing. They loaded up on Stroud's rookie contract, loaded up dudes everywhere while they can. It's a very smart strategy.
Yep, the old Pete Carroll.
Yep. Derrick Henry just running people over. I love the strategy. We'll see if Diggs fits. He was named the team captain, so they seem to like him. Joe Mixon in the backfield.
Yep. Big upgrade.
They still got Nico Tank Dell's coming back from his broken leg on a fucking sneak.
Yep. Quality tight end. Yep.
Quality tight end. Like, they're loaded. They're my pick to win the South.
Yeah, absolutely. Good defense, well-coached defensively. The only thing that keeps them from winning this division is the potential sophomore slump of CJ Stroud and or wide receiver injury or just turmoil. Like if, I say injury or the slash of Diggs just getting upset and messing things up and forcing the ball to him.
John Mechie thing is wild. 2nd-round draft pick 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago, and he got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, right? And he missed his. Let me look that up.
Yeah, I would say I don't know on that.
Let me just double check this. But he missed his rookie year, and then John Mechie missed his entire rookie camp year. Oh no, am I? Okay, yeah. Hold on. Let's say it's where ACL there, but I was like, he had cancer. He had leukemia. Sorry. Yeah, he had leukemia. Missed his. So he had leukemia. Yeah, that's NFL.com's article is wrong. So he tore his ACL in the SEC championship game his senior year. He was drafted in the 2nd round, and the NFL article said he missed it because of an ACL tear. No, he had cancer. He was diagnosed with leukemia. Missed his whole rookie year because of it. Came back last year, didn't do much, but he's still a 2nd-round draft pick. I think he was a high 2nd-round draft pick.
John says it was both, so fair. I guess they.
He was 2nd-round pick 44, but he's the 4th receiver on that team. Like, he's finally healthy. Like, forget he even exists. It's just crazy. Like, their receivers.
Well, what don't they still have Robert Woods there at the 5th?
I think they finally cut Hot Rod.
Oh, did they cut him?
They finally caught Hot Rod. Former Tennessee great.
But yeah, I think I have been on record, so I will say it one more time, so that way the highlight clip of me being wrong can just be a little bit longer. But we've seen it before. We've seen rookie quarterbacks that had great seasons. I mean, some of them we've seen just never be good again. It's been a while. And Robert Griffin, I won't count as that one because the injuries, I think, really did a number on him. And I do not think C.J. Stroud is falling off of a cliff and staying down there. But what I'm saying is I do think it is possible that all of these defensive coordinators around the league saw something. Maybe they learned something about his game. They'll bring him looks he hasn't seen before. So I think there's a possibility that this team will run into some dry spots, into some times where it struggles. But I can't confidently say that either the Titans or the Colts are right there where I'm like, oh, yeah, for sure. One of these two teams is going to beat the Texans. I think the Texans very well could be in the hunt for making the AFC Championship game this year. If they don't have that slide back. So that's what it's so tough. Like, I think they're a really good team, and yet I think they have a very wide range of outcomes because they're good and young, and a lot of things can happen with a young team as well, especially when it's some of your most important players. And
Ravens just went for it on 4th down on the 50-yard line and did not get it.
What was it like? Was it 4th and short?
4th and 3. They ran like a swing to. I think that was Xavier Flowers, and they snuffed it right out.
Oh yeah, it's 4th and short. You have Lamar Jackson, you have Henry, you have Mark Andrews, and likely his backup tight end, who are all great. Let's pitch it to Zay Flowers. Might as well have run an end around for Rashad Bateman at that point. You got anybody slower out there you could try to get it to?
That was weird.
Why not? You only spent money on the Hammer of Dawn, the strongest running back to ever exist. Yeah. Why? Okay.
They've been running like read option plays with him and Henry and getting huge chunks. Do something like that.
Yeah, I bet. Why would that? Like, how was it not an RPO call? Right? Like 4th and 3 with those two and those two tight ends, like I'm lining up 2 receivers out wide, probably in the shotgun with each tight end in tight, and I'm running an RPO where at least one of the tight ends is leaking, where I've got
Mark Andrews doesn't have a catch yet.
What
Mark Andrews has 0 catches.
You could have asked Madden in this situation, Coach. God damn, you're thinking too much. Self-inflicted wounds. God damn. You don't expect that from a Harbaugh. You don't. All right, so we were projecting our AFC South standings.
Yep.
And now is when
We have to
get the
decide the
moment
battle.
of truth, James. Which of our two teams is better? And will either of them, or maybe both of them, it happens every once in a while, make the playoffs as a wild card? What do you think?
I am predicting that the Colts suck. Stunning development. I don't believe in AR. I don't believe he can stay healthy. And then the preseason game, I didn't like it. I didn't like what I saw. It was against backups too. I don't like it. So I'm not an AR believer. He's all these people jump on the hype train. He just hasn't played enough. He only played half of 2 games, right?
Now that is fair. That is fair. Although, yeah, and it's been a mixed bag. That game against the Texans, he basically beat them by himself and then got taken out in the second quarter. But yeah, it's a tough one. But no, I'll let you continue.
And then he had his shoulder broken.
Yep.
So I think Titans finished second and third for the Colts. I think the Titans are sneaky better. I think the Titans, I don't think they're playoffs. I think they're going to win like 8 or 9 games. I think they're going to get right at 500. And Levis is going to prove he's the guy. Their offense is going to be a lot of fun because there's playmakers everywhere, but I don't think they're ready just yet. Linebackers worries me, but the trade for Ernest Jones was big. The right side of the offensive line could end their whole fucking season if they're not any good. Right guard, right tackle. If those guys don't play good, it'll wreck the whole season. So left side, if Latham holds up at left tackle, they're good over there. But I think their offense is going to be fun. I don't think teams are going to play them because they can score in bunches with Ridley, D-Hop, Pollard, Spears out there. There's points to be had.
Who John points out, Anthony Richardson has played 17 games since high school. And that's a valid
that's a scary thing, man.
It's a valid criticism. It's funny. We are yin and yang here, and I didn't expect anything different, but it's not only do we disagree, but I'm going to sound almost exactly like you in this one, just switching out names because I have no faith, maybe not no faith. I don't believe with certainty that Will Levis is the guy. I made this joke on Simon's podcast, I believe, that maybe if Wan'Dale Robinson didn't go to Kentucky, none of us might know who Will Levis even is.
Former Husker great Wan'Dale Robinson. He played like 1 season. Scott Frost wouldn't let him change positions that he transferred.
But Will Levis did have that good junior year in Kentucky. I won't deny it. There's part of me that believes that, the senior season was part of that drop was due to the injuries on top of the lack of talent around him. But I'm not 100% certain yet that he's going to be the guy. I agree with you. They've added a lot of weapons. I don't think you can deny that offense, although it will look different. I think Tony Pollard's a good back. I've been saving this, so forgive me for anybody who's pissed I didn't bring this up during fantasy football, but I wanted to make sure you didn't nab him from me. Well, I saw a lot of people getting Spears shares in fantasy football. To me, James, the fact that Titans went out and got Tony Pollard tells me that he's the guy. They want him to be the guy. Spears will spell him similar at times, but
they're very similar. But the thing with Tony Pollard that I really liked was he wasn't good for about the first 14 weeks last year. But if you look at, I think it's maybe it's first 13, like 14th through 18th, he's like a top 5 running back in the league based on all stats. He broke that leg in the playoffs. It's really weird the Cowboys just let him go. And they're like, we'll just bring Fat Zeke back.
Yeah,
and
Zeke
then
and Dalvin
Cook. Yeah, that's so fucking weird. Like, Tony Pollard's absolutely better than both of them combined.
Yeah, I agree. And here's my thing. I feel the same way about the Colts offense as you probably feel about the Titans offense. Although we didn't go out and acquire a big name, I think Josh Downs is the truth. He's going to miss about the first month of the season.
Yeah, that hurts them a lot.
Yeah, I think, and
Downs
I also
being
think
out hurts a lot.
When they have Downs and Mitchell, I think those two will be able to spell each other a lot, and you'll be able to flip plays at will, and they'll be able to to do a lot of great things. And I also think they'll open up a lot for Pittman. One of the things I like about Richardson, and if it has to be Joe Flacco as opposed to Gardner Minshew, is I won't have nearly as much footage of Alec Pierce wide open 25 yards down the field doing literal jumping jacks, just begging for Gardner Minshew to look his way. We know that Steichen wants to get the ball deep with Richardson. He does have the arm strength. And if JT stays healthy, I think, just like we were talking about earlier, they will have the same thing that Lamar and or something very similar to what Lamar and the Ravens have. If you have that 1-2 punch, I think that's a very scary RPO with Richardson and Taylor. As far as the preseason stuff, I do get it, but there have been some misconceptions about that game. You know, I've been arguing with people endlessly over the tape of that one. You know, like the pick six was a miscommunication. It was not an accuracy issue at all. He threw to the spot where he thought Granson was going to be. Granson applied a different tactic. He felt the safety coming down and thought, I'll go to the outside. Richardson threw where he should have been, where he thought he would be. And yeah, it was a miscommunication. It's a horrible outcome, but it's not a bad pass in the sense of he was wildly inaccurate. He does have his moments where he's been inaccurate. I will be the first one to say that. That was my biggest fear coming into the draft, was that 25% of uncontested dropbacks that wound up in uncatchable balls. So I'm not saying he doesn't have questions when it comes to his accuracy. But for me, I think this offense is going to be great. I am very concerned about the defense. Great up front.
You got the secondary is
the biggest question mark in the NFL to me, because for whatever reason,
that is
Chris Ballard
didn't do anything.
And they think they're good, and no one else seems to think they're good. But
everybody else thinks they're horrible.
And this was the offseason to do something about it. Like every
weird,
safety and their brother was available, and they just said, "No, we are good. We're going to let everyone else do this."
The Titans went and got him. Like, weird deal, man.
Good up front, solid at linebacker. They will miss Ubicom. They've got that injury, but that just means rookie Lato. Yeah, he's going to play.
How do you say it? Is it Lato?
I don't know. I've been mispronouncing it.
I like him.
But I like him a lot. I was absolutely wrong about that one. I was very frustrated when that was the Colts pick at the draft. It's still on tape. You can see it. But I was wrong there. And so it's a bummer that this team could have been a team that could get to the quarterback all three downs, because they had the bodies to keep a fresh rotation in. And now they're going to rely a lot more on the rookie. He's going to be good. Buckner's going to be good. Grove is going to be good. Linebacker, they're pretty solid, but that's not going to mean anything if their corners are getting toast all day and all night. So for me, because I'm a homer and because shows are more entertaining when we debate, I am putting the Colts at second. I think both the Colts and Titans are hovering around 500 all season, and they are going to be teams who are late exits. Their last 2 weeks of the year will absolutely matter, in my opinion. Both these teams will be in it.
Anthony Richardson's playing. Fun fact: Kevin at the game last year when he blew his shoulder out was not cool.
Yeah. I may never go to a game again because of that.
That shit was nasty.
I'm cursed. Yeah, that's my other, I guess, big critique of this Colts team was that of all the quarterbacks that had a skill set that was more conducive with what Anthony Richardson would do on the field, they went out and got Joe Flacco. I mean,
great backup, elite athlete.
You just have to call a completely different playbook.
You just have to throw the playbook out the window and start over. That's such a dumb. Even I think Hundley just got cut. There's some it's so fucking weird.
There were tons the three of the 4 or 5 guys they could have signed all went to Cleveland, and then they're like, oh, we'll just take Flacco. I mean, Tyrod Taylor's still out there, somebody with just a little bit more mobility. And again, Gardner Minshew isn't the fastest, most athletic guy either.
But compared to Joe Flacco, he's
exactly. Joe Flacco has an 8.
Whoever just won the 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
weird.
Nate says Colts should have traded for Fields. Something like that. Exactly, Nate.
That'd
I don't
be
know
terrible.
about a trade.
The only reason I would say
Maybe.
not do that is because people have been like quarterback controversy. Like, no, you just trade for him to have the same skill set. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would.
but-
Yeah, I
Somebody with just a little more of a dual threat, just so you don't have to have a break glass in case of
completely
emergency
change
playbook.
everything. Yeah.
What are you gonna just line up in the
That's
I
a-
formation?
Great way to put it.
So there you have it, folks. That is our first stop on our trip, keeping up with the AFC South. Any final thoughts from you, James, about the division before we put a wrap on this bad boy?
No, we're pretty on the top and bottom. We're pretty similar, than just the middle of which one of us is going to be better. The Colts lose this weekend to the Texans. It's in Indianapolis, and the Bears the Titans go bear hunting this weekend, and Caleb Williams has a rough day with little Jarius Sneed out there.
What about Jags Dolphins? Any thoughts on that one? The Florida Bowl.
Punch 'em. I think the Dolphins will beat them.
I think the Dolphins will beat them too. I think it will be closer than it would be if it had been in week 8 with the shortened preseason.
Yeah.
I think we've seen a lot more of that in recent years as fewer and fewer of a team's key players are seeing preseason reps. That week 1, you got a lot of close, sloppy games as people kind of shake the dust off a little bit. So I do think Miami wins, but I believe the Jaguars will give their fans some false hope here in week 1. Much like my Colts, who I think will hang tough with the Texans, but give me the Texans to win that game. So sorry, boys. I hate to do it. And I hate even more saying that I agree with James that the Titans are going to win week 1. Caleb Williams as a rookie quarterback, all the bells and whistles, all the new additions of the Titans, maybe kind of a double-edged sword for a week 1 game, as I was just saying. A lot of new guys playing their first real game together, so maybe the Bears get lucky. A few defensive miscommunications.
I think we've got it's like 16 new starters.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The defense is almost completely revamped. The whole secondary outside of one person is new backer. T'Vondre Sweat is going to be really fun next to Jeffrey Simmons. That's such a fun combination. That's so fucking fun. Offensively, they've got new center, new left tackle, new right guard. He was on the team, but new right guard. Right tackle was on the team but hurt last year. New receiver, 2 new running backs. It's a lot. New coach, new system. There's a lot. You aren't wrong there. But I'm on the hype train. Fuck the Bears. Just week 1. After that, I don't care. I don't care about the week 1. Throw it to Mark Andrews, Lamar. He exists.
Yeah, exactly, Baltimore. And there it was, folks. That is around the AFC South for this week. And before we switch into college football, we're going to make a brief pit stop by the ball fields over on the Diamond, because if Nate and John are still here, I know Nate will appreciate one of our topics, and John actually contributed the other. So let's start in the sad part of town in Chicago. The AL Central, James, currently
let me preface this to everybody. Let me preface this to everybody. I'm not a baseball guy, but this is unbelievable. I'm just going to state this. I'm not a baseball guy, but this is still fun. Even I am James, like, what the fuck?
Can appreciate this stat. Okay. The AL Central, 37 games below 500. Okay. 4 of the 5 teams in said division are above 500, which tells you that the White Sox, who I believe have 107 losses at this point.
No, it's 109 now.
109.
They won against the Orioles last night. They got a 1-game winning streak.
I know they couldn't hold it for one more.
Shit. Listen to this. The Guardians are in first in the division, okay? The Twins are 4 games back. The Royals 4.5. The Tigers 10. You had to guess, how far back are the White Sox?
34 games?
48.5. They're 48 and a half games back. They were probably eliminated from the playoffs like 3 months ago. They're historically bad. They're awful.
I don't see standings like that except when I walk in the room and my little brother's playing The Show Dynasty, and he's probably got like
gonna
4
do some-
grades on or something. He's got 100
I'm gonna
wins,
do-
8 losses.
I'm doing some quick math here. So we talked about 4 teams in the league have winning records. Those 4 teams have a run differential of plus 225. So they've outscored their opponents by 225. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you factor in the White Sox, the division as a whole is negative 78.
They're negative 300.
They're
plus.
negative 303. Negative 303.
Oh my God. And so not only are they historically bad, but James, they also have historically
They are
bad
actually,
luck.
yeah, like they are. They might be one of the worst teams I think they're one of the worst teams in the history of baseball.
And even when they do something cool, it ends up being ruined. So let's check out this clip featuring the left-handed Rod Beck, one of my favorite former Cubs of all time. Let's roll it.
That's in the air left field. That's trouble. Jankowski back. And a magic catch. Oh my goodness, what a grab.
I just realized our banner was covering that. That was a bottom of the 9th 3-run game-winning homer that got robbed. There.
I thought you were going to play the play from a couple days ago where they ran into each other. The 3 players in the left field ran into each other. Like the third baseman, left fielder. They all were going for the ball and they just donk.
Oh, if I had found that one, I'd have played it right after the roller derby clip. But
It's so. Let me see if we can find it real quick. I've got so much shit on my computer right now; it's going to explode.
While he pulls that up, I will briefly mention the other baseball topic of the night. The Chicago Cubs pitched a team no-hitter, a group effort led by Shota, the starting pitcher. The first no-hitter thrown in Wrigley Field since 1972, James. That is a very cool stat for us Cub fans who have had about one thing to celebrate in the last 120-something years. And we have a team that's flirting with a wild card. We talk about wild card possibility. The Cubs have gotten hot at the right time. Might be too little too late, but it's cool to see a piece of history. This guy, this rookie who has been pitching overseas for a long time, has put together one of the more historically good runs for a rookie pitcher that we've ever seen. Maybe the best rookie season we've ever seen. But did you find that stat you were looking for with the White Sox, or the play? I mean,
Yeah, I found the clip. It's my computer's super slow because I'm also got the football game. So give the little engine that could a second here. But I did find it.
once again, while we wait, thank you, folks, for watching. Let us know if you have any thoughts in the comment section. If you have a topic you would like us to cover, we'd love to hear from you. You can hit us up while we're live in the chat. You can hit us up on Twitter or join our Discord, and we would be happy to talk about your favorite or least favorite story in the wild world of sports. Okay.
You can
Okay, got it. Pause. Okay, here we go. This is from earlier in the week. This is the White Sox season in a nutshell.
Yeah, and the truth is, if you have great stuff, you can challenge over the white part of the plate a little bit more. Let your stuff just play. If you don't, you better figure out.
Oh, no! Oh, my
Whoa!
goodness. The White Sox have just gone full
Sorry, it's a
White
little
Sox.
choppy, but
Yeah, and the
the
truth
White
is,
Sox
if you
have gone full
great
White
stuff,
Sox.
You can challenge over the white part of the plate a little
Probably
bit more.
for
Let
the
your stuff
best.
Just play. If you
This
don't,
looks
you
like a
better
vicious
figure out-
collision.
Oh, no!
Oh, my
my
God.
goodness. The White
Oh God, I would fake an injury too. But
That is quite literally
fake that injury too.
the first thing they teach you. Might be the second. They might do a pickle first. I don't know. Might be the second.
Somebody call the ball. Somebody call the ball. They're historically bad.
That stuff always amazes me. Like way back in the before times when Alex Rodriguez, when he was playing for the Yankees, tricked a member of the Blue Jays, a routine pop-up in the infield, and he stands behind him and yells, "I got it," which every kid I have ever played Little League with growing up attempted to do at one point or another. I've very rarely even seen a Little Leaguer fall for that. And the Blue Jays third baseman absolutely fell for it. And I couldn't believe it. Again, like, how do you get to this point where you're making millions of dollars to play this game and no one's tried that on you before? Oh, Justin Tucker missed a field goal. That is breaking news, gang. It's probably because he didn't get to warm up wherever Patrick Mahomes was throwing before the game. He didn't get to practice his 70-yarders and the other team's side of the field.
Let's see here.
Yeah, cut him. Nate might be cutting him. Poor Nate accidentally drafted 2 kickers in our auction draft. And he got like 2 of the best ones too. So now you're stuck. What can you do? You just got to wait for a trade package to roll in and be like, ooh, maybe I can sweeten this deal with Aubrey. Or is it Audrey? I can't remember. The Dallas kicker. Because you're going to keep Justin Tucker, right? I would think.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, you're not.
You want those bonus points for those 60-plus yarders. So that covers everything from the diamond. We've got college football on the docket as our last topic of the evening, James. Now, before we get into the big preview for which you are going to be our expert, do you have any thoughts, any games in particular from the opening weekend of college football you'd like to talk about? Maybe how the 10th ranked Florida State Seminoles managed to lose 2 games before some teams have even played 1.
Talk about they went from getting snubbed from the playoff to being out of the playoff after week 2. There's very few teams that are out of the playoff after 2 weeks, and they are one of them.
And it's almost never a top
DJ,
10.
however you say his last name, Ugalele or whatever it is awesome.
My favorite tweet about him, it showed him putting one out the back of the end zone. It said, "This kid could overthrow a government."
It's bad. It's bad.
Poor guy. I'm sorry. Whew. He's no Charlie Ward, folks.
It's not good.
Hey, Chris Winkie might have some eligibility left. I know I'm showing my age there, but so is he.
That is a throwback. A lot of people watching the show don't even know who that is. Oh, Pat Mahomes throws an interception at the 50-yard line. That's a bad throw. That's a bad throw.
Oh, so defensive holding offsides coming? He doesn't get it. He's not allowed to have those, James.
It doesn't look like anything. I'm surprised they didn't
bad
throw like a
throws.
Tapped him on the helmet.
When Pat Mahomes makes a bad throw, it's almost always because the defense cheated.
Oh, yeah. That's easy.
I know that. Roger Goodell knows that.
What a bad throw. He tried to force it as he got hit. What a bad throw. Great pick by Roquan Smith. And boys got the ball.
What's the score right now currently?
13-7.
Who's winning?
13-7. Chiefs up.
Nice for my predictor. Okay, so any other big takeaways from the college football weekend? I will just say, I guess I'll slip one in real quick. Notre Dame finally winning an important game in week 1.
Good win for good win for them.
Very ugly win.
Good win
I have
for them. Our fault.
No faith in that quarterback currently, but I love the fact that they were able to grind out an away game against a top 20.
From Duke, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, they just love their.
They grinded out. I'll give them credit.
That running game is going to be where it's at. But any other takeaways from any of the big games?
No, but preview wise, I know there's one I'm going to talk about. But there's also a really fun noon game this Saturday. Again, it's go there, Lamar. Go to the ball, Lamar game. You've got number 10 Texas, or is it? What is it? Number 3 Texas heading to Texas goes to Michigan.
Oh, that is a big one.
Let me see here. What is the rankings?
Definitely be watching that game.
It's at noon. It's big noon kickoff on Fox.
I love it.
Now I'm mad because I can't remember who Who is the actual? Throw it to Mark Andrews. He's right there, wide open. Lamar. No, Lamar runs. Oh, Texas is number 3. Michigan's 10. Number 3 Texas heads to number 10 Michigan. That's a fun game.
That will be a good one. I'll be
10
watching
o'clock.
that. One that I don't know if I'll be watching. I don't know if it'll be nationally televised or not, but I did see one of these teams, in my opinion, lackluster week 1 performance. So Nebraska, your boys, taking on
Hell yeah.
Dion
National
and
TV game.
Colorado. It is national TV.
Saturday night.
Fantastic. So I'll save my thoughts. I was at a B-Dubs doing a fantasy football draft during the Colorado North Dakota game. I will share my thoughts, but I will go after you, James.
Officially, everyone is a Husker fan week. There is nobody in the nation cheering for Colorado this week. Nobody. We're tired of it. Tired of Dion. We're tired of them all. Everybody's cheering for Nebraska this week. And I'm going to tell you why the Huskers are going to win. I'm going to show you the front page of ESPN right now. If you go to their college football tab.
That's right. I forgot about this. Hoo-hoo.
There he is.
Oh,
Family
wow.
ties,
He's even,
Mahomes comps kind of, and the QB to revive Nebraska football.
is that why he's cosplaying as Pat Mahomes?
He trained with Pat Mahomes for like a month this summer.
Looks
So
like he
like
stole his
he's friends with
clothes too on the way out.
He does, yeah. It sure looks that way. He was a top 2 quarterback recruit in last year's class. He's a 5-star kid. He's like the first 5-star to sign in Nebraska, and forever. His dad is legacy. His dad's got his jersey retired, All-American. NFL. His dad's a stud. His stats from last game: 19 of 27, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Nebraska last year, all season, passed for 200 yards in a game 0 times.
I was just about to say, as almost half joking, I was gonna be, when was the last time they threw for 200 yards? Like just normally a run-heavy offense, right? Anyway,
2 years ago, yeah. They had quarterbacks that couldn't pass last year. Lamar, that is not that's not Mark Andrews. Nice, just keep throwing it to the wrong people. Mark Andrews, he's right on the field though. He helped the guy get up, so that's great. We're not getting any points for that.
there you go. Yeah.
Huskers win
You gotta
40 to
update your league
7.
settings.
Yeah. Can we get a point for helping somebody up off the field? Last year, the Huskers played them tight and then got blown out late before everybody realized Colorado was frauds. Huskers are much improved this year. Stud quarterback in Lincoln, 6:30 Central Time kick. They're going to be drunk. That place is going to be rocking. I cannot wait to watch that game. And the Huskers are going to put an end to the Buff season right out the gate. Over. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter are studs, though. Those are NFL players. First round draft picks, probably both. And they are stellar. They're going to tighten. The Huskers are going to have a handful with those two, but the rest of the team's not good.
I was just about to say, yeah, those two are great. Everybody else, I am not so sure about. This is a team that barely beat. Is it North Dakota or South Dakota State? I can't remember.
North Dakota State.
Yeah.
North Dakota State number.
And admittedly
stellar FCS team. Absolutely stellar team. But you're in the Big 12. You're not supposed to be close.
I would say good enough to be in the Big 12 based on what I saw in week 1. Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
South Dakota State, the number 1 team in FCS, their rival, played Oklahoma State pretty close, like within 17. It wasn't as close, but comparison there, State's also in the Big 12.
I was going to say Oklahoma State also doesn't get nearly the national attention that Colorado gets most of the time. So it's a weird thing. I also believe that this team is pretty fraudulent, that they're not very good at all. But yes, they have a couple of stud players that will be good when they get to go play somewhere else. And I think as soon as Shedeur Sanders is gone, I think Dion is maybe out within a year or 2 at Colorado. I don't think
he better hope they win. That's this year. I think they're both pros after this year. They both can.
I don't. Yeah, in the Big 12, like this is Division I. You're gonna need more than just your name, especially when. You know, it's been 30 years since prime time was like everybody knew who he was. He was the second coming of Bo Jackson, almost immediately following / kind of during Bo Jackson.
Yeah,
but Bo got hurt. and then it became,
Yep.
Dion primetime. Everybody knows him. But it takes more than that to build a winning football program. And there are some things that he does that other people hate more than me. I don't care if players have their Twitter handles on the back of their practice jerseys. Do I think it's kind of cringe? Absolutely. But I don't think it's a bad thing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't hate it. Yeah.
But
He
I
does
just
do some
don't
stuff
know.
That's kind of annoying, but
He does some annoying stuff. He does some amazing stuff. Part of me wonders how much of the Rock he may have in him, where it's like, it's interesting. Dion always has these really heartfelt moments with his players while there's a camera rolling and 3 feet from his face. It's interesting. Almost as if he knows there's a camera there and he's doing a great job of acting it up a little bit. So I don't know. I don't wish ill will on him at all, but I don't think this is a very good team. I don't think he's that good of a coach. I think he's a great personality and a hell of an entertainer. He's been that for 30 years plus, for longer. But yeah, I will go with you. One of the few times this week we will agree, James. I am going to go 100% all in on the Huskers. I, for one, would love to see it because the Colorado thing I have mixed emotions about. I grew up on 90s college football, so Colorado was good. Nebraska was good. These are staples of, it's just a bit of a nostalgia for me to even see these two teams
Colorado
on national television
for like 4 weeks, and then Oregon said you actually don't know how to play football. Bye-bye.
Yeah, since then it's been since Cordell Stewart since Colorado's been relevant. Yeah.
Cordell Stewart. There's a fucking name. God, that is hell yeah.
Right. Slash Stewart, baby.
That's fucking great. We've got
the Steelers, the OG here. Antoine Randall L. Kids. Yeah,
Antoine Randall.
The Steelers just had this snack. He used to play receiver for us.
13-9. Ravens got the ball on the 7-9 seconds. 13-7, sorry. Let's see what happens here.
Is this in to end the first half?
Andrews. Yeah. Throws it out of bounds 4 seconds. They're going to kick the field goal.
Ooh, well, that's perfect. Well, we can hang around for the end of the first half. That's great. That way I can go watch the second half. We can let we can let you folks at home get back to the game as well. And we'll end up hitting the hour mark if we do that. So that's perfect. That's a win.
Justin Tucker has never missed a field goal under 30 yards. 113 of 113. Can he make it 114?
Here's the curse.
Does the cross. On his leg. Rocks back. Nods his head. Snap. The ball's up. And it is good. 114 of 114. 13-10 is going to be the halftime score here.
Money. 13-10 at the half. The Chiefs have the lead, and that will just about wrap us up here, right, James? I don't know if you have anything else. All right, perfect. Well, in that case, do you want to let the good folks at home know where they can find you?
You can catch us every Thursday here at 9 p.m. talking all kinds of combat sports, including medieval MMA. That's the only combat sport we cover over here. But every Monday on our sister station on Dweeb, on the Weekly Dweeb, we will be talking Concord's Rise and Fall this week, and Joker, Folly Ado, all kinds of nerd things. We got a big slate ahead of us. Astrobot got perfect scores today. That's fun. And then every Wednesday on Han Shot First, talking Star Wars at 9 p.m. So come check us out.
That is right. And to add to that, on Dweeb, we've got some throwback content coming to you very soon. The VHS Mess podcast will be turned into a video production. So Noah and I did a season 1 of a show where we review old lost movies that were available on VHS. Talking about those, had a blast. If you enjoy our style, our types of review, it's going to be right up your alley, dweebs. We are also going to be migrating my old Critic Cult videos into the
Neat.
Dweeb catalog, so that way you guys can actually see them, because we have combined those brands, and you know,
You're in the wrong
not
places, right?
you're not subscribed over there, and that's totally fine. I don't need you to do that. I will come to you. So look out for new content that is old content coming on the Dweeb channel on Thursdays. Also, more preview reviews and more new Critic Cults. I still have the Alien Romulus review coming. We've got some daily Dweeb podcasts coming up with the what people are calling the Pooniverse, but there's a whole cinematic universe of childhood fairy tales being converted into horror stories. James, there's Pinocchio, there's Peter Pan,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
have been collecting news about all of them, and we'll be bringing that to you folks over on the Dweeb channel here very soon. So again, if you like James and I, if you like what we do, you think we do a good job here, you can't even imagine how much fun it is talking with us over on the Dweeb, whether it's Han Shot First or the Weekly Dweeb. We really get opinionated about our stories, man. We love to talk about them. Love to hear from you about them. Other than that, you can find me covering any combat sport that doesn't inquire or require, I should say, armor over on Carnage Media. Our next pay-per-view will be October the 12th and 13th. We're doing double duty. I got back-to-back nights for a show. The Clash of Champions is not its official name, but that is what it is, guys. 2 nights, all day, all night, both cards, all title fights. We've got multiple promotions coming together, putting their belts on the line over on Carnage Media. So get caught up on all of our previous fights on the YouTube channel, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Carnage Media PPV. And for those wonderful Crowders out there, the beloved Clout crew, us Clout Route fans, working on something for all of you here in the new future. So we will keep you in the loop, keep you updated. In the meantime, of course, just make sure you got notifications on. Maybe follow us both on Twitter. James is at Schmeitz06. I am at Kev Nevick _ a great way to keep tabs on us, because if we have any show updates, we will likely post them there. Other than that, we thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget, if you're a big fan of the NFL, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, this channel, you'll get your league updates and stories on Tuesday. You'll get all your fantasy only stuff on Wednesday night. And then we'll be here to pick up the scraps or talk about any news that has broken since Tuesday. And of course, we can talk about all of our other wonderful sports here on Thursday night. So appreciate you all once again so much. Everyone in the chat tonight, shout out to Nate, shout out to John. Appreciate all the lurkers at home watching as well. Have a great rest of your week and a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time.